Alright, so we've got the new Trek Emonda SLR disc. Let's have a look at Google Images. What does this beast look like first? Alright, so we got, it looks like a Damane. That is a Damane. Come on, where's the S? It does look very, very similar, doesn't it? So that's a Damane SLR. Where's the, here we go. This looks a bit more aggressive. It looks so much like a Damane, doesn't it? It looks, first impressions, it's like hard to tell. How you can tell it doesn't have the split seat tube. It looks really similar. It looks like the same fork. Apparently it's really light. In this sort of spec, around 7.1 kilo in a 56. I just saw on GCN they had one. GCN nutrition video coming soon. Maybe next after this one. But it does look interesting. I do like the wide tyre clearance on it. They're going for the gravel spec. And this is what's happening in bike industry world, is the fat tyre. Like I've always said, the fat tyre, the big gearing is where it's at. So you could put a 40 cassette on there. This would be like a lightweight adventure gravel bike. Interesting stuff. It's very exy, very expensive though for what it is. These are made in China from Quest Composite. If you go to Quest Composite, so we hit Quest Composite. You can see they're making the top end Treks. I thought they were Waterloo, Wisconsin, but it's Dongjiang City, China. So you can see there that, you know, the bling Treks, I always thought they were made in the US, but it looks like they're made in Dongjiang, China. It doesn't matter, it's still got lifetime warranty, but the price tag is a bit rich. Canyon's also coming out of China. But anyway, get back to the bike, and that's the Emonda SLR. That looks like the old one. 690 gram frame, now it's a 640 gram frame. They saved 50 grams. 50 grams. What can we know about this bike? Alright, let's go to the all, and we'll check it out. So let's go bicycling. They've always got a little bit of write up, and this is all paid. These are all paid. You know what I mean? This is all paid shit. Everyone's getting paid to promote this motherfucker. I ain't getting paid, so you guys come to Durianrider for the 100% no bullshit opinion. So I recommend that this bike is a good bike, just because I've ridden Trek, they make good shit. My critique is the price. You know, so expensive for what it is. So expensive for what it is. So you can tell it's been paid because they're talking about the introduction. It's just all this cookie cutter bike review bullshit. If you wanted the best bike review, get a copy of my ebook guide, Durianrider's Anybody Bible, link down below. I've got all the cycling tips you're ever going to need. Cuts for all the bullshit. Save you a lot of money. A lot of money for 30 bucks. So we've got the 500 series OCLV, which means fuck all really. I mean, I've ridden OCLV bikes. They're good. Trek make good shit from China or the US, wherever it's coming from. They make good shit. Whatever OCLV, if you got 700 or 500 OCLV or 200 Alpha or 300 Alpha, it's just good shit. That's why Trek offer a lifetime warranty on their road frames. So 640 grams, which means it's going to fucking break real easy if you fall it over. If it falls over the cafe, it's going to crack real easy. It's going to be quite flexy. You can't make a stiff bike, all right? About 665 grams for the frame. It's not going to be stiff, man. It's going to be a wet noodle. And I've ridden the Emonda carbon bikes. They are pretty flexy. They're light, but they're comfortable, but they're pretty flexy. The ALR, in my opinion, is a better bike. You know, like we got $11,000 US for this SL. Like, it's just, you know, it's crazy. So this looks like the budget model. Wow, it looks interesting. The budget Emonda SL Disc FS. That looks pretty interesting. That looks pretty. It's got the H2, H1 fit. H1 is more aggressive. H2 a bit more relaxed. And it's got the new rotors on there. Look pretty snazzy. The new Dura stuff. So 28mm tires, and that's pretty amazing. They're releasing a super light. This is the industry changer right here. Look at that. 28mm tire on a super light bike. That is the industry change. That's what I said all along. Fat tires, where it's at. Fat tires, combat cranks. That's where it's going. Something piqued my interest back here. Let's go to Trek website and see if they have any information about this. Trekbikes.com. Let's see if they've updated their website, which I think they would have done that by now because of all the hype. Here we go. The lightest gets lighter. Alright, so got a little bit of drone shots there. We've got Contador. Is that Contador? So I've got an ex-doper. They should have Lance Armstrong to promote this bike. I mean, Trek, after all, made famous by Lance Armstrong. It is Contador. It's Contador on the gas. Come on, man. I mean, hey, that's just how the world works, man. Everyone loves a champion. If you get caught, we don't love you. But if you don't get caught, we love you. And what's this? Hey, we'll watch this again. Look at this. Notice the stem cap on here. So we've got the average dude, me and you. Look at that stem. The steer is not even chopped. I hope that plug is going down deep enough. I hope it's going down deep enough to protect. Look at that. Anyway, this looks like a nice bike. Giant Defy Advanced SL kicked off the disc brake revolution. Lightweight. I've got a couple of those Defies. They're really nice. Anyway, so we got this mountain bike. The Flare R. That's a good light. That's one of my favourite lights ever. Bontrager Flare R. Well, let's get into this. Contador. Hemoglobin 200. So we have the new Emonda SLR. Alright, so they're calling it a 2018. 2018, the colours, they look pretty basic. Nothing fancy for me. They look more like a 2008 sort of Trek. The colours, ugh. You know. This, yeah. What's with these drab colours, man? I would be getting on the Project 1. That's a bit more lively. I'd be getting on the Project 1. I mean, I think Trek make the best paint jobs on the planet in terms of that Project 1. That radioactive yellow. That's what we're talking about, man. Good safety colour, good thing. What's this blue look like? But these colours are like, bland. But yeah, if I was going to get one of these, I'd get a Project 1. Because that is where it's at. The frame set. Lightest production frame set ever. This internet is getting a bit slow. $2,500 for that Chinese frame set made by Quest Composite. It does. I wonder if you could put a mountain bike. Wow, it looks like maybe an oval. No, maybe it looks like a round seat tube clamp. Maybe you could put a mountain bike cranks on there to make it an adventure bike. Maybe lifetime warranty. Woo! All right, let's go back to the disc brake bike. Let's have a look at that bad boy. So the Trek do make a nice bike, and I'm giving you my honest review. I'm not fucking paid or sponsored or whatever. I'm not an ambassador. Just straight up, I think they're overpriced for what they are. I think they're a nice bike, but you don't need super light. And we've got the new Madone. Looks like the same Madone. Where's this disc? Where's the discs? Here we go. $9,500. New Dura Ace. But then again, you're getting a lot for your money. Because I remember when the Trek had the OCLV 110 Lance Armstrong edition back in 2003. And that was $10,000 US approximately. Well, it was definitely 10,000 Aussie. So you are getting more for your dollar in 2017. You know, from 15 years ago, you're getting more for your dollar. You're getting disc brakes. You got some carburetors that would be a bit more comfortable there. And you don't have to worry about the heat fade because you could run the discs. The new Dura Ace, that works. It's nice stuff. But the colour, I mean, it does look like a Demano, doesn't it? Making disc bikes sexy on a road bike is pretty tough. I think Giant do the best at the moment with their TCR, some of the colourways, but it doesn't look. It's too rafferish. It's too canyonish. It's too black. It's too Instagramish, in my opinion. I would go Project 1. Bertie. So there's the frame weight. It's SL. So the disc is almost double the weight, but you know this is going to be a lot stronger. It's going to be a lot stiffer as well. It has to be. You know, if you drop this one against the wall or the floor, it's going to be a little bit stronger than this SLR disc. I could go out and buy one of these bikes. I've got the budget, it's no worries, but I wouldn't spend that much money on a bike for what it is. It doesn't even come with. It comes with a 25. Oh, hang on. What? Shifters. Oh, that's a typo. It comes with a 28. My mistake and their mistake. Shifters, Shimano Dura Ace. So maybe they'll watch this video and do a correction there. Comes stand with a compact. Like I said, boom, compact works out. 50-34. Fantastic. It's a climbing bike. I would say put a 32 on the back. You can run a 32 of that new Dura Ace derailleur. You can run a 32 of the old 9000 series derailleur. Stem 31.8. What sort of seat post? 6.4 kilos. I sincerely doubt this disc brake bike is. What did they say? No. 6.4 kilos for a 50. I sincerely doubt that. 6.41. So they're adding the 1 on there. They're pretty confident that it's 6.41. Not 6.42, but 6.41. If I see that, I'll believe it. 6 point, nah, not with disc brakes, man. You're adding so much weight to disc brakes. That means you're adding about I find about 500-600 grams of disc brakes on a bike. So that means the other one would be 5.9. I sincerely doubt it. This bike, disc brakes out of the box, put some pedals on there, some XDR mountain pedals, is going to be under the UCI 6.8 weight limit. I sincerely doubt it. What I like about this bike, all right, I've done the criticisms now. What else? Constructive, positive feedback. I don't like the colour. I do like the fat tyres. I do like that Trek have put a compact bike crank out of the box. I do like that it's got the waist wide tyres. I've said that again. The saddle looks good. The Montrose, I like those saddles. That's about it. I do like the possibility that you may be able to put a mountain bike crankset on there. But is this DIT? No, it's not DIT. But so that means we could put a 40 cassette on there, we put a road link on there, and we could turn it to a proper adventure bike. It does look like it could be mountain bike crank compatible. You put like a little band clamp underneath there and run a little lower if you want to run a mountain bike cranks. But a 40 cassette should be enough for most people. Depends what you want to do on this bike. Actually, I'm on the Australian website. Maybe it's 9.5 Aussie. But you're getting more for your value than you were back in 2003. So there we go. $10,000 back in 2003, 15 years ago, 14 years ago would have gotten you the OCLV with just a 10-speed Dura-Ace, the Bontrager Race Extra Light wheel sets, XX wheel set, not even carbon wheel set. So you are getting a lot more for your money in 2017. It does look like a nice bike. Would I buy one? No. Not because it's a bad bike, just because I think it's overpriced for what it is. I would say it's more like a $5,000 bike. I can't see it being better than my giant Defy Advanced SLs, which is just so well engineered. But that's my critique of the new SLR. Emonda, overpriced, super light, drab colours, excellent tyre clearance. I really rate that. I like the direct mount brakes on the other ones. But where's the cheap one? Where's the cheap Emonda? That's probably what a lot of the viewers out there would be interested in. Let's have a look at that. Now, I just wanted to mention I've got the Dymane 3 here. Someone's farting. This is an incredible bike. This is probably my favourite bike from the Trek lineup. It's about $1,000. Comes with a new Sora. It's got direct mount brakes, so you could put 30mm tyres in there probably. And you could put mountain bike crank on there if you want some real adventure gearing. So this looks like a fantastic new bike. Just get going. I would buy this bike tomorrow if they had this size in Thailand, but they don't have a 58mm in Thailand, so unfortunately I can't buy one for review. But I'm going to maybe try and source one from overseas. But I would buy this bike in a heartbeat. It looks like a great setup. Running 9-speed as well, you could put a mountain bike cassette on there quite easily. But anyway, let's go back to the cheaper Emonda. I do have the Emonda ALR, so I'm not a Trek hater. I do rate the Emonda LAR. It's a fantastic bike. It's a Dymane SL. It's a new Ortega they've released on there. Bike shopping. They've got a women's option as well. So the colours are so black. It's downer colours. Dymane SL. What's look like a specialised Sequoia. What's with the dark colours these guys? These days, these guys. It's just like drab city, man. Alright, so we've got the cheaper Emondas here. It's $4,000. Wow, they've done a lot of fucking bike release, haven't they? A lot of women's Dymane. What sizes these come in? I'll go on for Tori to test ride out. Let's have a look what couple of sizes we're getting here. Dymane SL5 women's disc. Well, there's a lot of bikes for 2018, ain't there? A lot of bikes. Size 56. Wow, so if you're a 6-foot girl, you're left out. But if you're a smaller girl, 44. Wow, so they're catering for the smaller rider, females, which is good. Because if you're 6 foot tall, you can just grab a guy's bike and chuck a women's saddle on there, whatever you prefer. Trek is the #1 performance brand in the world. Talking it big. They're taking a leaf out of Durianrider's book, talking it up. So we have, come on, let's page load it up. Bertie again. I ALR disc. So there's not really much going on. Emonda ALR. What's the colours, Trek? You guys have such good colours, man. Such good colours. I can't find that cheap Emonda that's maybe hasn't been added yet. That's a new colour for the Emonda. ALR is my favourite, one of my favourite bikes, Trek, mate. Let's have a look at radioactive yellow. Come on, you got to. This is my favourite colour. Let us know down below if you agree. The radioactive yellow Trek. This is what we're talking about. Imagine that, a Damane ALR3 frame set in radioactive yellow. Now we're fucking talking. Look at that boon. That's it. That looks pretty good. I do like that. Let's just have a look on Google, just so I'm raving on about Emonda radioactive yellow. So this is what we're talking about. You know, look at this. Look at that one there. You know, the colour stands out. Oh, that's fucking from bicycle. That's Sam's bike, Benny's bike. That bike's from Adelaide, and you'd fly down Norton Summit, you'd see that from a mile away. Fantastic safety bike. If someone ran you over and you're riding that bike, you're going to get a good insurance payout because they obviously weren't paying attention. That's another one. Looks like an Emonda. Oh, actually, is it an Emonda? That's a Madonna. It's hard to tell, isn't it? It's hard to tell. But that's my favourite colour. The radioactive yellow. It looks better in real life. It looks better in real life. That's an Emonda SLR. Quite a flexy bike. I wouldn't buy one. What I would love to have though is the ALR Emonda in that radioactive yellow. It does look good. It does look good. There you go. That's the Emondas. The new one for the 2018. It is pretty fancy. All these bikes coming out. It is a great sport. Cycling is the best sport in the world. It's the best industry in the world. Even if it's full of wank, hype, and narcissism, it still is an ecological thing. It's cool. You get to ride your bling bike to work, bring it in the office with you, look at it all day, fap off when I was looking, and get to ride home again on the end of the day. So bikes fucking rule. And the best bike is the one you like to ride the most, the one you like the colour of the most, and there's so many options out there. But if you want some more direct information, get a copy of my Bike Buyer's Guide, Durianrider's Lean Body Bible, links down below. I talk about all the best bikes to get and why, and all the best cycling tips out there. That is high vis. This stuff looks better in real life than on the computer. Have any questions about the new Emonda? Hit me up down below. See you soon. She's on the phone now. Alright, I'm about 5 minutes away. Yeah, I'm just talking to your son right now. Alright, see you soon.